Today's video is sponsored by Book a Band. It's an app my homie Dan from Grupo Ocho started. He's their drummer. It's pretty much the Airbnb for músicos, DJs, and anybody in the music industry. If you're a grupo from Chicago, Indiana, Michigan, all around the United States, you just post your grupo's information, tus fechas que está disponible, cuánto cobran, and people will be able to look through different options of grupos. So, for any of my homies out there that have a grupo, son DJs, anything music related, please feel free to download Book a Band. Yo, qué rollo mi raza, bienvenidos a otro capítulo de Charlando con Compas. Hoy estamos de manteles largos, tenemos a mi compa Freddy de los Hijos de García.
Cristales en mi troca bien polarizado, pa' que no odian por dentro el negocio que cargo.
¿Cómo anda, viejo?
Saludos, aquí nomás, carnal, emocionado pues que estamos aquí de nuevo en Michigan. Después de tanto tiempo, we haven't been here with the crowd, so I'm just glad that it's a sold out night already, ya nos confirmaron y pues aquí estamos con toda la raza de Michigan.
A toda madre, bro. ¿Cómo estuvo ayer en Chicago?
Pasado de verga también, sold out shows, man. Chicago always shows love, man, you know what I mean? And I think we've been on a little hot streak, cada ciudad, también la viral last video that's going around where we were in Denver, también, viejo, sold out también, y gracias a Dios, pues la neta sí. La gente está saliendo a apoyarnos.
Toda madre, bro. What happened in Denver, bro? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Cómo se enteró la gente? Escucharon 18 libras y se pusieron a...
Exactly, yeah. They fucking heard 18 pounds and they were like, hey, fuck it, It's time. It's time for action, No, la neta nomás, de lo que yo miro, nomás empezaron a tirarse hielo y que la chingada, like they were just hating each other, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Así se pone la gente, bro, sometimes.
I mean, yeah, you could say that. Definitely with the corridos genre, la gente se altera, pues, o sea, se siente del corrido, pues, you know what I mean? So, por eso andan a veces muy alterados para esos eventos,
How does it feel being back on the road, bro? I know these past couple of years, maybe sometimes you guys did a couple pop-up shows in Cali or Texas or something like that, but now it seems like you guys are kind of full on the road. Yeah.
No, well, we're now taking Hijos De Garcia as a project by ourselves, where back then we were with Rancho and we just got out of Rancho this year. We didn't make a big announcement because I didn't feel like we needed it. Son buenos compas los de Rancho, simplemente que se acabó el contrato and we decided to, really test ourselves again, kind of like in the beginning where I feel like we were getting too comfortable, like way too comfortable being with Rancho. And, we were just telling the viejones, like, hey, you know what? Like, we love the comfortability here y cómo tratan a todos and everything, but I need to feel that hunger. I need to feel scared again of falling again, you know what I mean? So that's basically what I did. I told them, you know what? I think it's about time for us to kind of take the wheel. And Simon, they were like, hell yeah, viejón, adelante, todo chingón, so suerte. And aquí estamos ahora bateándole macizo, puro 48 mil.
So, how would you say you got out that comfort zone, bro? And how did you get there to begin with? Just as you yourself, as a person, as a group, like, how'd you make the decision? Like, damn, I'm in a comfort zone and I gotta get out of it.
Getting into the comfort zone was easy. Shit, money just starts fucking hitting your account and you don't know how to act, Like anybody in this room, like anybody watching at home, like that kind of money starts hitting your account, you're not gonna know how to act. You don't act like you're a fucking, like you're the best person in the world, knowing, I would do this, I would do that. Try having that kind of money in your account and then tell me how the fuck you act, No, getting out of it was the hard part, COVID hits after 2 fucking successful big ass years of SMO, changed my life completely. And then COVID hits, completely shuts everything down for a fucking whole year. We felt like the world was like swallowing us whole, you know what I mean? Going down the drain type shit, and now, like in any musician's world, depression is a huge part. Being able to overcome it, honestly, it was just me and my brother Saul, at one time. The whole team that you see now, where it's like, 10 of us and shit, like that's over years of construction, it doesn't come from de un día a la noche, un día a la mañana, you know what I mean? O noche a la mañana. Overcoming that depression, overcoming the bullshit of like, fuck, man, like that was it, that was our run, you know, like that's probably the hardest part. You know, and honestly, for me, it just happened one day after like 2 years of just fucking going through it, you know. It just happened one day where I was like, man, I'm done. I'm tired of it. You know, I'm tired of feeling tired type of shit. And I just went into the place where I compose, and then Todo Veo just came out in like 15 minutes, and then I just kind of fell right back into place where I needed to be, you know. It's just that the rest of the other components that I was, you know, looking for in my career weren't there at the moment. So, you know, ahora ya voy viendo que se están alineando muchas cosas.
I'm glad, bro. I'm glad to see that. I know your record label is called 48th Music. If I'm not mistaken, it's based off of the street that you guys were raised on, 48th.
Yeah.
And then, how did you tell yourself, like, hey, I want to start a label, do my own thing, maybe sign groups in the future, stuff like that, and just pretty much pave the way for yourself and the people around you and the team you had?
Honestly, I didn't think about it. I wish I would have thought about it sooner. You know what I mean? But I think I had to go through the shit I went through, and that mental blockage, like simplemente nomás de estar cerrado la mente, güey, for so many years. And then out of nowhere, I just had like a fucking epiphany, like, you know, a year and a half, no, like 2 years ago. I just started seeing all these other talents that weren't getting any recognition or shit like that. And I'm like, man, somebody should do something about it. And then out of nowhere, one day I was just like, man, I should do something about it. What the fuck? Like, why did we make 48? You know, I completely forgot why the fuck we made 48. And 48 was designed for that, you know, to give a outlet for artists that are, you know, wanting to really showcase their shit, you know, without feeling like, fuck, I have to, you know, grab the attention of all the big labels. Like, I wanted to give the little guy a chance, you know. And like I said, I completely had forgotten about it because we created it to do the joint venture with Rancho for my brother, Los Nuevos Escoltas. And they're doing amazingly right now. And so, yeah, you know, just opening the doors to people, I think is the main thing. For example, right now we have signed el compa Yosa de Guadalajara, el Yosa, and then Chuyon Villalobos de Guadalajara también, developing artists as well.
They were both on your last album, right?
Yes, that's right.
How was the process of that album, bro? I know you were very experimental. We had Classroom Love around like 2019, 2020. Then you dropped the album Todo Veo. Then every album you pretty much drop sounds different. Cada album tiene su propio flow y estilo. Is that something you want to keep doing with albums or stick to something? I know you kind of like the fans told you one thing and then other people told you another thing and you just wanted to complacer la gente. What do you want to do now moving forward with projects?
Well, I mean, if I look back at all of my compositions, creo que toda mi vida, bro, I've been composing music that doesn't sound like one from one track to the other. Like, there's not one track that you can say that Hijos plays that sounds like another one that Hijos wrote. You know what I mean? And I think that also translates over to the album as well, to any album that I've ever made. Everything, again, you know, is very experimental, but I think we're getting into the level where, you know, we're just settling in with our style, I guess you could say. And it's crazy to say that shit después de 10 años. And there is people online that say, oh, no, que ya se les fue su tiempo and this and that. But it's like, can you really say that? Like, after, you know, this entire fucking month in different cities selling out and people still showing up and people still fucking bumping our shit. And I'm still eating off of my music. Like, it's like, maybe it's just the fucking hate, you know? Maybe it's just that they're mad that I'm still eating off of my music that I wrote 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Which is insane. It's insane to me. But yeah, man, I just feel blessed, bro, that we're able to even, you know, be having this conversation right now. Me realizing or being able to take action on what I need to really do at this point in my career, you know, because I can really call it a career. It's not just like that one hit wonder type shit, you know. Yeah, 10 years in the game, bro. It's like it's serious. Yeah, it's serious now. So finding the style, I think we found it. I think this is the A team right here, to be honest, what you guys are gonna hear live, and yeah, that's what's gonna be on the album, you know.
That's badass, bro. I know for the Smoke Me Out tour, I think you had Omar Tubero, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And then now you got Sammy on the drums. You think this is like the team that, like, You love practicing, you love playing with them, or
Oh yeah, everything. Like the entire team, aquí mi compa Dave, everybody. He's my right now on the road. He's our camera crew, but also our marketing director y todo el pedo, pues helping us out. That's how we really made a bigger presence online recently. Because we added him to the team. That's all. To mi compa Dave, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Which is great because honestly, before that, we didn't have the presence that we have now. You know what I mean? Like people were noticing a lot. So adding people to the team, I think. And again, to your question that you said, if this is the team that I feel comfortable with, yeah, man. I mean, even down to the fact that we're actual friends and we all really get along, together, and it's like a real fucking like tight bond, the tight camaraderie, and la confianza que me tienen los cabrones, pues la neta sí se siente bien chingón, that they believe in me, pues, you know what I mean?
there's an old video that I like watching where it's a Tololoche player, you and your brother, and it's like Las Vegas in the background, I think.
Que hay que cosas en la vida desde niño batallé, caminando paso a paso, las cosas salen muy bien.
It's like a tent, like an RV. What would you tell Freddy from 10 years ago? Like motivation, or what would you tell Freddy from 10 years ago?
There's a lot of shit that I would tell him that I can't say on camera here. It would involve too many people in the industry. But the main fuck up that I think I had. But again, why would I tell myself that to not do that shit if that's really what taught me everything? Like the main fuck up that I had was signing on to a fucking record label that was fake. And I've never said the name of it. I don't even know if that piece of shit is still around or not. But anyways, Rancho helped me get out of that. But either way, I don't think I would tell myself to do anything different. I think I would just tell myself like, hey, fucking suffer through it again. That's just the mentality that I have. Suffer through all that shit, suffer through the years, get damn near to fucking rock bottom, lose almost everything you had and fucking get it all back. You gotta go through that shit. That's what makes you a man, I think, in my head. You know what I mean? I got kids too, so I don't want to give them a fucking easy life, I guess you can say. I want to have them earn it. You know what I mean? And I feel like if I would tell myself 10 years ago, like, oh, like, here are the fucking cheat codes, this is what you got to do, I wouldn't tell myself that either. I'd be like, nah, then you're not going to fucking make a man out of yourself. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely get that, bro. Just keep it going, and repeat the same cycle and do it again.
Exactly.
I know right now you guys are pretty much on a hot streak, bro. All these shows, music's still rocking, people still listening to you guys. What do you guys want to do in 2026?
2026 is huge, man. There's some big announcements coming in January, February, roughly. Since we're an independent label already, we're striking some big deals, and currently in negotiations, with a few major prospects, and literally just actually fucking starting to push new music is what it's all going to be about. Not only us, but also some surprises coming to 48th as well as new artists and a new the entire team is a whole ass revolution in the industry, to be honest, for us.
That's badass. You guys ready? I get pretty much by the looks of it, bro. You guys are ready to go with the género and just do your big splash how you guys were supposed to do it. You did it once. I think you guys are gonna do it twice. What's advice you got for the new cats that are out here doing it? The guys that are gonna be performing today, just advice for them and how they can maybe get to that level of having success and just being where you are.
I feel like part of it is very divine, because part of it is like you never know when you're gonna get that message from like the universe of like, hey, it's your time now. Like, it's your time to create something, to be something bigger than yourself. You know what I mean? And you just gotta be open to listening to the world, bro. Listening to the universe of like telling you like, hey, like, this is your path, bro. Like, go down this way. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you gotta do. This is what you gotta dedicate yourself to. And For so many years, I thought I was just gonna be a fucking musician, then make some cash and open up my business, do something else or whatever. I never thought that I was gonna inspire myself out of nowhere to fucking become or step into this music executive role where I'm now stepping into. For example, like there's this video that really fucking it really bugged me. I forgot who the fuck said this. There was another artist on a podcast where they said that that an artist that any new artist that signs to another artist label.
Ken Rodriguez on Augusto Papa.
There you go. Okay, I didn't like that shit. At least in my perspective, we got to think about this logically here. Like grown fucking people, right? Grown adults. Okay, if I sign artist XYZ, and this fool is bigger than me as Hijos De Garcia, because let's say my level's here. Let's say this fool pops the fuck off and he's over here, right? Why the fuck? If he's under my label and we're both making money and I have him in a great fucking contract, which I do, by the way, I have the fucking best contract in the industry, hands down. Would I say, don't make that much money because I want to be the star? That's some egocentrical shit that I haven't heard in a while, honestly. But that would be insane. Like if I'm running the show at 48 and I have one of my artists blow the fuck up to the point where they're doing arenas and stadiums and shit. Why in my right mind would I be like, no, you can't grow that big because I'm not there yet. Or because I'm not higher than you.
It's going to generate you more money too.
Like, exactly. That's what business is. Compa. Like, unless if you're with one of the artists that really has that mindset that Kane was talking about, then maybe, yeah. But it's like, nah, you gotta be with, a company that really knows how to be a company and how to back you up and how to do their job and stay in their place. You know what I mean? Hijos de Garcia has nothing to do with 48th music in its ego and its stature and its formation. Nothing like that. Me, Freddy, and Saul, like separately from Hijos de Garcia, we're also music execs now. Like we're also doing big business. We're also, handing out these big ass contracts that are actually setting up the artists to really have ownership of shit, because damn well that in the industry these artists don't own a fucking thing. They don't own fucking shit, and I actually offer ownership. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're here to just fucking bring great business back into the industry. You know what I mean?
You think in regional there's like maybe he said that because he looks at his surroundings and where he's at, and like there's a lot of emotions tied to it and everything, and
definitely
stuff like that. Yeah.
Definitely. But
you think it's like that everywhere in the regional, or just certain places, certain people?
No, I think it's definitely saturated by those people. But speaking from like a musician to another músico, it's like it's not fair. I mean, I know he doesn't fucking know very much about me like that, like es compa, el compa Kane, like camareamos machín, like, everything's cool, salud para mi compa Kane. But I just didn't agree with that, man to man, I just didn't agree with it, only because I know where I'm coming from, only because I know my not only my vision, sino que what I'm actually implementando ya, like what's on black and white, you know what I mean? So, I've had a lot of experience in the music industry to learn what I want and what I don't want in my company, and I feel like we're guiding ourselves the right way. You know what I mean? No nos estamos vendiendo por la feria. We're looking for opportunities more than the money. The money comes after. I already have that shit comprobado.
Gross. Right. What do you look for an artist for 48 music, bro? What do they need? What's the criteria? Music, like stuff like that.
It's the main thing, uniqueness. Secondly, their drive. Their drive has to be fucking intense, to really, and also another quality for them to be their own writer. If not, we have a team of writers now, at 48. Like I said, the team is growing. But yeah, man, raw talent, uniqueness that doesn't sound like another artist, because I don't like really our artists to really mimic others, because there is other up and coming artists that sound like they're mimicking, it sounds like they're copying. Maybe that's their natural voice and that's completely fine, but I just never been a fan of that. I like to have like the first of art shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, other than that, que tengan unas ganas de trabajar, güey, where I'm not gonna be behind them like babysitting and shit. I really don't like that. You know what I mean? What we are as a company is a tool. We're just a fucking tool, allowing you to have full access to become as famous or as not famous as you want to. We believe in you, and we hope that you have the drive to push yourself as far as you can, and you have the entire support of 48 and the associates to be able to push yourself as hard as you can. And like I said, all of this, when it comes out, the real year that we're really going to be seeing results from 48 is 2026. Not right now. Right now, we're there's a lot of crazy shit that has happened this entire year. Because again, good things don't really come fast. So, but yeah, that's kind of the qualities that I'm looking for in an artist. Somebody that's willing to push themselves as far as they can go. Because it just reminds me of what we did. I don't really like seeing artists feeling like, oh, like, they gotta persuade me to do this shit, or they gotta push me to do this. It's like we're all wasting our time.
Do you see any groups out there that you like, or you don't gotta name them or anything, but like you got your eyes on people?
Yeah, I got my eyes on a few. I got my eyes on a few. El compa Alberto Salazar. We've been chopping it up. That fool likes some. Le gusta el rollo pues acá del pedo, pero sí le falta experiencia, compa. I feel like we're the right team to be able to grow with him. También mi compa Tino, también de los Capitanes, ya andamos en pláticas también. Los Capitanes de la Sierra, out of Dallas.
Okay.
They're fucking hard. I'm very selective with who else we really have. I mean, there is someone else from the Tamaulipas. I think his name is Andrik or something like that. I can't remember his name, but we were chopping it up just a few days ago. That was pretty hard. He has a really unique voice. And I'm all about that, como te digo, gente que quiere sobresalir,
echarle ganas. Yeah. From your discography, bro, what is your favorite project? Is single, an album in general, or like what sounds in the year?
My baby is always gonna be Lujos de la Vida.
Yeah.
That album
in
front of the 48 sign. Yeah, that's
badass. And then you recreated that on the previous album. How was that feeling, bro? Like,
filling up with the level.
Yeah.
It was, man. Sometimes I fucking hate that I live in the future, bro. I fucking hate that I'm always living mentally. I always feel like I'm living in the future because when I'm there in person, I feel like I don't really appreciate it for what it is until I see it afterwards. And I'm like, wow, fuck, like that was a beautiful time, this and that. And, at the moment, I just feel like, let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's go type shit. So it's really hard for me to really sit back and be like, wow, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm more of a let's get to work. What do we need to do? Let's get it done, and let's go. You know what I mean? And then I reminisce on it.
Right. I know a lot of these older grupos are playing like in their 50, 60 years old. I talked to grupos that are hitting now, like Los Primos del Este, where they don't want to play until they're that old. How do you feel about that? Or I know you're a businessman now too, so you kind of got other ways of getting money.
Yeah, I'm with it with my compa, Los Primos del Este. Saludos, los viejones. Hell no, I don't want to fucking be singing on stage at that age. Fuck that. I want to retire. I'm 30 right now. I want to retire by like fucking, I don't know, like 35, 36, 37, kind of.
I'm trying to put my kids on to Los Hijos De Garcia, bro.
There's a lot of classic albums. There's gonna be a lot of albums coming out in these years, so you guys will have Hijos De Garcia para rato. You know what I mean? Who knows? I mean, again, I don't know the future. That's what I want, but I don't know the future. Maybe Dios nos bendice otra vez with another big fucking hit, and we go for another 10 years type shit. Who knows? But again, this type of touring shit, I can't handle it no more. I'm 30 now. My body hurts, dog. Like I've been doing music since I was 13, dog. Las desveladas, like they fucking hurt now, dog. Mi cuerpo me duele, del cansancio, pues. You know what I mean?
I got a video, bro. It's like maybe you remember taking it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the one in the blue right there.
Nadie sabe cuánto tiempo.
Yeah, I was probably like 15 right there, bro.
Vayan
No,
cargando
that's like.
amarguras. Como recuerdo a mi viejo.
Dirían mis tíos, va a chequear feo, estoy hijo de su chingada madre.
How old were you around there, bro?
I was probably like 14, bro. 14, but yeah, that's probably like 14.
You've always had like this dream of like doing it big, how you're doing it, bro? Or was it just like a thing where like, I love music and si se hace, se hace?
At first, I wanted to be a romantic singer, like banda type shit. And I wrote one song called Cueste Lo Que Cueste. That was my first song I ever wrote, ever in my life.
Pero no llores, que mi corazón y mi alma se están derrotando poco a poco. Si todo lo que soy en esta vida te lo ofrezco poco a poco, mirándote en los ojos, te digo llorando.
And then I was like, nah, like I love music, but I don't think it's gonna hit. And then I just wrote my first corrido ever, which was Lujo de la Vida, and that bitch popped. You know what I mean? It popped off. But talking about the dream, it was out for me when I was like in fucking 6th grade or something like that. I was like 11, 12. And Gerardo Ortiz was the biggest shit in the world. And I remember watching one of his videos where he was coming down the hallway, like looking all luxurious with a fucking big ass like mink coat, a black tejana, and he was coming in and fucking reporters and everybody around him, you know, asking questions and shit. He's walking down the hall like too important for that shit, and I was like, damn, like, you know, and the camera guy is like down the hall, like at the pivot point of like the stairs, looking up to the stage and down the hallway. Gerardo Ortiz is coming over, and I'm fucking like sweating, bro. Like I'm feeling like the adrenaline, you know, because I'm hearing the screams like through the, like I was watching it on a computer. The dude comes over here, grabs the mic off of someone, and fucking runs up. The shit explodes with like screaming of everybody. The por si they were already making noise and shit. It explodes the fuck out. It was back then when Gerardo Ortiz had all his musicians wearing fucking like capucha, yeah. And since that moment, that's what I knew that's what I wanted to do. I don't know why that video just spoke to me so crazy, but that's when I really realized like, nah, like this is where I need to be. And like at like 11 years old, más o menos. But the music was always something that I wanted to do. Desde los, I want to say desde los fucking 2nd grade, was that 7 years old?
Okay.
Yeah. Desde esa edad. I was just like, you know, beating on a drum and shit. Like I always had the music, you know, kind of speak to me. So.
I know you say you live in the future and everything, but is there like a moment where you're like, damn, I made it? Like, it can only get better from here. Like, estamos donde soñamos un día and we made it.
No, I still don't feel like I made it.
No? Is it you think you're ever gonna get there, or like
I don't care.
You're just proud of everything you've done?
No, yeah, I'm proud of what I've done, but I don't think I made it. I don't think I made it, and I don't care if I make it ever. I really don't care.
Because to me, like a fan, like you made it, bro. Like
yeah.
you made it. You're the big dog. Yeah.
I mean, I've been in fucking enormous stages, you know, in big ass arenas and shit like that, and stadiums and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like the only time that I really feel like I made it is like when I'm able to take my kids out, you know, my family out to do whatever they want, to eat, to travel, to, you know, that's when I'm like, damn, like, you know, my imagination is paying for all of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
My imagination is bringing on 10 people onto the team now. You know, my imagination for writing this shit really brought all of this shit towards me, you know? I don't feel like I made it only because I just have a mentality of like always wanting more, always advancing higher. You know what I mean? And so I just constantly feel like there's a higher level to get to, you know? So I don't think I'll ever get that feeling of making it. I don't think I ever will, you know? The only place, again, that I feel like I made it was that I have 3 young boys that I'm raising into men, that they're respectful, that I have a beautiful family, that's where I feel like I made it, you know. But as far as my business goes, I'm always gonna want more. I feel like any head or any executive of any company, you gotta fucking want more. You can't ever say.
Stay hungry. I know you got the Wapos podcast, and you used to do the IG lives. I was on them like once or twice, and like everybody bullied me, bro. Those comments were rough, bro. Is that like?
Yeah.
Did you get your inspiration from there for Wapos? I know you.
Yeah, 100%. That's where that entire shit came from. You know, me and Saul talked about it. And we're like, hey, I think we should do the lives again, but we got to do it officially, like a podcast. You know. And yeah, man, I mean, shit, that shit was brutal as fuck, like for everybody, bro.
You're telling me, bro.
Yeah, you know. But now, yeah, that's where the inspiration came. To be honest, you know, I'm glad that people are loving Wapos the way they are. You know, we just reached 10,000 followers too on YouTube. We're getting pretty big in fucking TikTok. TikTok goes viral for us. Yeah. Hey, they ready for us? Yeah? Thanks.
Last question, bro. Fast memory of the Smoke Me Out tour that you can talk about. If you want to keep it PG-13, that's cool.
Yeah. There's way more rated X than PG-13, but fuck, what are they? Yeah, everything's fucked up. Everything's fucked up that I remember.
I got one more. Para los nuevos, new listeners for Hijos De Garcia, how do you describe your music to them? In your own words.
That's a good question. You ready?
Like a minute, I'll be ready for you.
Okay. Honestly, I've never been asked that question, and that's a really good question. He was asking, how would I describe my music to a new listener, to a new fan of Hijos De Garcia? And I don't think I've ever been asked that question. I don't even know how to answer that shit. That's a good one, bro. I mean, I guess I could say, we could finish it off with this. I guess I could say it's just a combination of, I guess you can say, growing up in South Central, you know, 90s music, a lot of that old school, like in that lowrider kind of scene. There's that inspiration. A lot of R&B is inspired by my music. Like I'm inspired by that music. Banda, like that Chaca shit. You know what I mean? Sergio Vega, Valentin, like all of that really came into play. Listo? All of that really came into play into the beginning of my career. I know that's something that they would never understand, you know, because they're young. But I guess you could say, if I could sum it up in a few words, it's in its own lane. You know, it's in its own lane for people that like to imagine the stories that I paint with my words. You know what I mean? I feel like I God blessed me with the gift, you know, to be able to paint movies in your head. You know what I mean? While you listen to my music. Yeah, I think I would say.
Ahí estuvo, raza. Una plática con mi compa Freddy de los Hijos de García. Thank you, bro.
Hey, no, thank you guys, man. No, thank you guys for real. Hey, saludos para toda mi raza. That's right, aquí andamos con los Hijos de García. Los Hijos de García para el rato, pariente. Puro Guapos y puro 48 music. Ahí estamos, pariente.
What is up, guys? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I want to give thanks for the people that made this possible. Para empezar, huge thank you to the homies at Cuatro Haces Entertainment, especially el compa Alex. Thank you, bro, for the trust. Also, want to give a huge thank you to the team at 48's Music and the team of Los Hijos De Garcia. Thank you, compa Freddy, for taking time out of your day to make this possible. Se agradece de todo corazón. If you guys know me, you know this is a full circle moment. In 2019, I saw Los Hijos De Garcia at the Smoke Me Out tour in Warsaw, Indiana, to 2025 being able to interview Freddy in Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you know me, you know they're my favorite grupo, and I'm still kind of shocked. It's like a surreal moment for me. So just thank you to anybody who follows me. I appreciate it so much. You do not understand. And I'm just chasing a dream, and hopefully llegamos a la cima de esto. I want to be somebody known en el regional y se tiene que hacer de una manera u otra, pero siempre, siempre Dios por delante. Thank you to everybody who follows. Don't forget to like, share, but especially subscribe. Se viene más contenido chingón.